It was Athens, Tennessee, August 1st, 1946. The war was over. The boys were home. At 9 o'clock at night, Bill White stood across from the McKinn County Jail and the red brick fortress that was now protecting 60 deputies. Wendy Wise and Paul Cantrell. Names Americans will soon forget, but it's what Paul and Wendy had that the 60 deputies that were on the take were protecting in that fortress. They were the ballot boxes. If they were counted fairly, Cantrell and his political machine, his mob of thugs and thieves, would fall in spectacular fashion. Bill White was standing in the dark. He called out again, "Bring out the damn ballot boxes!" The silence was broken by the unmistakable locking sound of a shotgun's barrel snapping into its handle. "Go to hell!" shouted a deputy, who then aimed his weapon into the crowd and pulled the trigger. The blast echoed down White Street, past the Dixie Cafe, past the county courthouse and beyond. Glass windows shattered and sparks punctuated the darkness. Bill White fired both cartridges from his double-barrel shotgun, emptied the rounds in his rifle, and then shot his pistol until there weren't any bullets remaining. He then reloaded all three weapons and repeated the cycle. One more time. One more damn time I have to fight for what's right. The Battle of Athens had begun. This is one of the stories that I believe I have been trying to, quite honestly, when we are not spending our money on just trying to stabilize the news and everything else, this I'm going to make into a mini-series, The Battle of Athens. It is a story that needs to be told, and it is a story that I have been saying for the last few years that we have got to tell this story. It's a story, quite honestly, that when I first brought it to the attention of everybody on my staff, and I said, "Have you ever heard of the Battle of Athens?" And they all sat in my office, about 20 of them, and I told them a story that took me about 40 minutes to tell. Every single one of them had their laptop or their iPad where they had Googled at some point because they thought, Glenn has got to be making this up. When we finished, I said, "You want to know why they are trying to make sure that our veterans are discredited? You want to know for sure why they are doing everything they can to get the guns out of the hands of law-abiding citizens? It's called the Battle of Athens. You want to know why you've never heard of the Battle of Athens? Read the story and find the power within inside of you. It is absolutely one of the most important stories in American history from the last 100 years. And you've never heard of it. The good guys coming home and saying, "I've already fought fascism once. I have to fight it here?" Tomorrow, Miracles and Massacres comes out. And it's available. You can download it. You can, buy wherever books are sold. But they are the true and untold stories of the making of America. And they come from all the way from, what's the first one? 1780, is it 1781? First story starts in 1781, and the last story is 2001. And they are 12 stories that I thought captured the essence of who we are, both good and bad. And there are stories, the U-boat stories, will blow your minds. What we did in our country, what we allowed to happen, what we've turned a blind eye to, will blow your mind. And I don't mean just the bad things. I mean the miracles as well. We no longer accept that miracles have happened in our country, and I'm telling you now that miracles are what built this country. And if we don't learn from our mistakes, if we gloss over the massacres, and then we dismiss the miracles, there's no chance of putting this country back together. None. So if you're looking for the true and amazing story of America,